Some people you can't get away from, a coworker, a co-parent, a family member. You'll see it every holiday for the rest of your life. And if that person feeds on your reactions, just leave isn't advice. It's not an option. So what do? You become a gray rock. Boring, unremarkable, not worth the effort. It's the tactic this whole channel is named after, and it's the single most useful tool for surviving a manipulator you can't cut out of your life. Today I'll show you exactly how it works, how to actually do it, and just as important, when not to. The usual careful note: I'm not diagnosing anyone, and gray rock isn't for every annoying person in your life. Most people you can just be normal with. This is a specific tool for a specific problem. Someone whose behavior is manipulative and who you can't simply walk away from. And as always, we're responding to a pattern of behavior, not a label. Here's the idea, and it's built on something we've circled a few times on this channel. A lot of manipulation runs on your reaction. Your anger, your tears, your scrambling to explain, your visible hurt, that's the fuel. To someone who manipulates for control or attention, a big emotional response from you isn't a failure of their tactic. It is the payoff. It tells them the buttons still work, that they still have a hook in you. Gray rock simply cuts off the fuel. You become so flat, so boring, so unrewarding to poke that provoking you stops paying out. So here's the one thing I want you to carry out of this video. You can't always control whether someone tries to provoke you, but you can control whether it's worth their while. Gray rock makes you not worth the effort. Picture an actual gray rock on the ground. You could kick it, yell at it, tell it your grievances, and it would just sit there. No reaction, nothing interesting, nothing to push against. Eventually you'd get bored and walk away. That's the entire method, applied to yourself on purpose with a specific person. Let me show you how to actually do it, because there's a real skill to it. The first move is to keep your responses flat and brief, short answers. Okay, I see. Maybe. You're not rude. Rude is a reaction too, and reactions are food. You're just unremarkable, neutral, a little boring. You answer the question and you don't add the paragraph. No emotional color for them to grab onto. The second move is to give them nothing to use. Manipulators collect ammunition. Your fears, your insecurities, what you're excited about, what you're worried about, and use it later. So with this specific person, you go gray on the details. You don't share the vulnerable stuff, the big news, the thing you're anxious about, not because you're cold by nature, but because information's leverage, and you're simply not handing this person more of it. Keep the real you, your feelings, your plans, your inner life, for the people who've earned it. The third move is to not take the bait. Visibly, they'll poke. They'll say the thing designed to get a rise, drop the little insult, bring up the topic they know lights you up. And your whole job in that moment is to be a rock, a small pause, a flat a change of subject, and no flair. It will feel almost unnatural to let a jab just sit there unanswered. Let it. The non-reaction is the entire point. It's the thing that tells them the machine is out of order. Now, this is important. Let me tell you when not to use gray rock, because it has real limits. Gray rock is for management, not for relationships you actually want. It is not something to do to a partner you love and want to be close with, or a friend you're just annoyed at. Going emotionally flat on someone you're trying to build intimacy with is its own kind of damage. And honestly, it can look a lot like the stonewalling we've warned about. This is a tool for a person you can't leave and can't reason with to get through the interactions with your peace intact. It's a shield for a specific fight, not a way of being. And a second limit, sometimes going gray rock can actually escalate someone in the short term. If they're used to getting a reaction, the sudden flatness can make them push harder to get their supply back before they give up. That's not a sign it's failing. It's often a sign it's working, but it does mean you should be thoughtful, especially about safety, which brings me to the line I always end on. Here's the honest part. Gray rock is a survival tool for a hard situation. It is not a happy way to live, and needing it long-term with someone is itself information about that relationship. Managing a person is not the same as being okay. If you're using this just to get through, that's valid, and it's also worth having real support in your corner while you do. And plainly, if the person you're managing is abusive or you feel unsafe, gray rock is not a substitute for real help, and going flat can sometimes provoke, so please involve people who can actually protect you. For immediate emotional crisis, call or text 988. For domestic violence support, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233, text START to 88788, or visit thehotline.org. So the next time you're stuck with someone who feeds on your reactions and you can't walk away, be the rock. Flat, brief, boring, giving them nothing to push against. You can't stop them from throwing the hook. You can absolutely stop being the fish. And remember, this is education, not therapy, and not a diagnosis of anyone. Just a tool for a hard spot. Next video, the exhausting, dizzying tactic of the conversation that goes in circles and never lands anywhere. Word salad, and how to step out of the maze. Subscribe so it's there when you need it.